What is going on YouTube and Spotify? This is the Just BSN podcast, and today we have episode 135. And today, with me, as always, I have with me my boy Andrew. And today we are going to talk mostly Guardians, probably a little bit of Brownies because they're in camp right now. They're starting that mandatory camp is starting, so that's good. Starting to get a little more clips from certain guys. We got to hear from both quarterbacks in Shadur and Watson, which that was the first time he talked since before he got injured. So there was a lot to discuss there, but we'll hit that guards news first. But before we do any of that at all, we have to give a quick and lovely shout out to the boys at Effortless Wins.
Yes, guys, please check out Effortless Wins for sports betting advice and plays to boost your wins. Talk to Tony or Greg. The links are in the description of Spotify and a comment on YouTube. Code JustBS26 for the discount. And guys, again, I always say this, baseball is in the full swing. We now have the FIFA World Cup that just started 2 hours ago. So everything, there's a lot of sports to bet on. I mean, hell, you got 104 games of the World Cup.
Yeah.
And that's a month long. Now's the perfect time. Baseball still got well over half a season to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the perfect time right now. And then once all this ends, guess what? It's time for football.
Yeah.
So once we get done with the World Cup mid-July, you got a couple more weeks until spring training, or not spring training, but you have until fall, and then you have all the preseason stuff for NFL, which would start basically a few weeks after the World Cup is finished. It's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together. So check them out. Get your sports betting advice and plays from Greg. Best in baseball. Go do it. Get that money up for football season, and then we ride in football season.
Yes. Look, it's a great precursor to go from baseball to football because, in my opinion, I enjoy football the most in terms of betting. I'm not the best at baseball betting because it is daily, and it's hard for me to keep up with how busy that I've been lately. My gosh.
Yeah.
So it's not really for me, but I do enjoy at least getting on there and seeing things. And man, I'm telling you, if you guys are locked in and you guys want to improve your sports betting in terms of your baseball bets and much, much more. I mean, the NBA Finals is still going on. The Knicks are about to win that series from the looks of it, up 3-1. I don't see them pulling a 2016 Warriors, which is actually the 10-year anniversary, I believe, either today or sometime this week, I think, is a 10-year anniversary of that game as well. So that's really, really cool. But don't see that going a different way. So if you want to put money on the Spurs, I guess, to win Game 5, go for it. You could probably win some money because the Knicks are probably favored in that one. So, guys, if you really want to step it up, these guys are the best to go to. Yeah. They really know what they're doing, and they're really passionate about it. So shout out to the guys at Effortless Wins. As always, Tony and Greg, they are the boys, and they've really helped us gradually grow this community as well. So we really do appreciate them. So yeah, guys, as we said, Guardians are in a little bit of a slump. They a few weeks ago played the Yankees and played really well in New York. And on the flip side, they come here to Cleveland, and it didn't go so well. It did not go so well. There's a little bit of an issue with the pitching staff overall. They just seem like they're in a little bit of a slump. There's some guys that are doing real well, some guys that are kind of meh, and some guys that are like, why are they still on team? Matt Fessa. But overall, the Guardians are still batting the ball well. I mean, they're definitely still making plays in the infield. Brocchio had an incredible play at, I believe it was second base there. This was a crazy double play. Literally got a ground ball right at the base, tagged it, threw it to first. It was really, really cool. Really big moment in that game too. But unfortunately, guys like Parker Messick are starting to slowly come back down to earth. And he's kind of been on that trend for the last few weeks. I think. which is kind of disappointing. You really hoped that he was going to be able to kind of keep it going. But this is a long season, and some of these guys are going to deal with maybe it could be a nagging injury, or hell, they just kind of get guys used to them, and they play these teams 4, 5, 6 times in a season. Eventually, guys are going to kind of get how you pitch them, and they're going to be able to watch more and more film on you. So sometimes it happens, and guys have to be able to adjust. But what are some things that you've seen over the last probably I'd say week that you're a little concerned about when it comes to the Guardians? Because you're the one that's able to pay attention to them a lot more. So I'm not going to be the expert here on the Guardians, but what are you seeing out of them? And is there anything you're really nervous about, or is it just kind of one of those things where it's just that time of the season where things just are going to be a little rocky here and there?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, yeah, it's easy to see everything because I do have the ballpark pass. I'm at every home game possible.
Yeah.
Luckily today's a day off, so we were able to record. But I think, like you said, guys are starting to come down to earth a little bit. Parker Messick's starting to come down to earth a little bit, even though he's still pitching pretty well. Even though he is coming down to earth, he's still doing very well. But guys like Angel Martinez, they're coming down to earth a little bit more at the plate. Same with Schneemann, he's coming down to earth a little bit more at the plate. Again, Bazana coming down to earth a little bit more at the plate too. Again, he's a rookie, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But all of these guys are starting to slow down a little bit. And, it usually happens around June where if you start off the season hot, you kind of start to go cold a little bit in the month of June before you pick it back up in July. So, it definitely is warranted that some of these guys are going to go cold a little bit. Yeah. I think the biggest issue right now is the bullpen, because there's times where the Guardians do come out with the lead and even a decent size lead, and the starters look phenomenal. Because I do agree with you. It's not really, for me, it's not the starters. The starters have looked phenomenal. Yeah. It's more so the guys coming out from the bullpen, like Hunter Gaddis, Matt Festa, Sean Armstrong, especially both Festa and Sean Armstrong. Some of these guys are just blowing games, and they costed us a couple times. I looked to a couple nights ago, Tuesday night actually, when I went. Tim Herron came in, and the game was tied 3-3, and then obviously Jazz Chisholm comes up. People are chanting overrated at Jazz Chisholm, and then he pops out a home run. So, you can't, you're in the moments where you're up in the count. You can't give that up. So some of these guys in the bullpen, it needs to be worked on. I wouldn't be surprised if, this is looking like 2016 again, where the guards are looking good. The hitting looks good. The pitching, the starting staff looks good. It's just, can you go out and get one more bat? Can you go out there and get someone who could come out of the bullpen to kind of help shake things up and, alleviate some of these guys? Because, Tim Herron's really good. We all know that. We all know Hunter Gaddis. Yeah, just came back from injury, but he's supposed to be really good, but he hasn't looked the best.
Yeah.
I think, and I talked with someone the other day, Matt Fessa could be DFA'd. Sean Armstrong could be DFA'd. You can go out there and replace one of those guys with another big-time arm at the back end of the bullpen. I mean, Cade Smith's starting to come alive, and that's what you've been wanting to see for the start of the season, because at the start of the season, he was struggling.
Yep.
But now Cade Smith is back to being old Cade Smith, where he's coming alive. He's striking guys out. He's getting back into form. But it's just that middle bullpen. It's the Sean Armstrongs, the Matt Festas. They're not holding their end of the bargain. They're not holding things up, and it's making it tough. So I think you need a middle reliever in there to replace one of those two, and to really, again, shake up the bullpen and to get these guys back on track. Because if these guys can get a lead and you can get that bullpen like it was 2 seasons ago, oh my God, this team is nasty, and this team's hard to beat. Because again, guys like Tanner Bybee are coming around. Gavin Williams is being a true ace. Parker Messick, even though he's had a couple kind of games, he still looks really good, even when he's looking ass. Same with Joey Cantillo. So, and even Slade Cicconi's had back to back great starts. So Cicconi's starting to get back into that form that he was in last year, where he's starting to give you some good starts.
Yeah.
It's just about, can the guards give them run support, and can the middle of that bullpen keep leads? Because those are the biggest concerns, and that's my other big concern too. Is they're like Tuesday night, the Guardians had 12 hits, but they left, I think it was 8 people on base.
Yeah.
That can't happen, man. And especially guys like, I remember it was when we were tied, Chase DeLauder gets a walk, a leadoff walk, and then the next 2 guys come up, strike out, and then there's a pop out. Like, that can't happen when someone gets a leadoff walk. You got to get them around. Or I think it was the inning before that, where it was bases loaded, 1 out, and Stephen Kwan misplaces the bunt. He bunts it directly at the pitcher, and Manzardo gets caught going home. So again, it's just one of those situations where the bunt's got to be a little bit better to get Manzardo home to take the lead, and it's just so small things like that. The Guardians are getting bases loaded. They're getting guys on base. They're just struggling to bring them home, and they're hitting the ball well. It's just gotta get the runs on the board. Yeah. So lately for the Guardians, for the past week or so, past 2 weeks, is getting those runs to come through, because guys, like I said, guys are getting on base. You're getting almost every inning, you're getting 1 or 2 guys on base. It's just bringing them around the base pass and getting them home, and for those guys in the middle of the bullpen to keep the leads instead of giving up 3 home runs back to back to back. When Matt Festa comes in, it's like, oh, we're up 5-3 or something, and Matt Festa gives up 2 bombs and it's like, okay, well, we can't have this anymore, and we can't really trust this guy. Yeah. So if I'm the Guardians before the deadline, I'm looking at another strong batter, and I'm looking at a reliever. If I'm them, I'm doing 2016 all over again. I'm going all in.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the time to do it, because those young guys that you brought on, like CDO, like Bazana, hell, even Rocchio at the bottom of the lineup has been really, really good. He's statistically our best hitter, batting average wise. Like, he's batting close to 300 at the bottom of the lineup. That is not a thing that happens often. So you do have to take advantage of what's in front of you. And you have guys in AAA that you could technically offload if you really need to, in order to make a big splash. So the Guardians are actually in a really good position to make that happen. And it's whether or not the front office is going to allow themselves the opportunity to do that. Because as we know, they tend to kind of hoard prospects. And at some point you have to make decisions, and at some point you have to make a splash. You have to make a change, because right now I think we're actually a half game behind the Sox right now.
We are
in the division, so they're playing really good ball. So that's really your big competition right now. And who knows, the Tigers could start storming back once they get their guys healthy again. Like, you really don't know how the thing is going to play out. So the Guardians have to be really, really honest with themselves and say, okay, what else do we need? Because yes, you do have a bunch of young guys, and you have to use that to your advantage. But you also have guys in AAA, guys like Arias, who can't really come back, because who the hell are you going to move down for them? Both of the young guys there are doing phenomenal. Like, you were going to look at that. Like, that was a conversation we had at the beginning of the year of, hey, when Bazana gets moved up, who's going to be the guy that's going to be the one that's going to be left on the outside? And right now, it's been Arias. It's been Arias because he got hurt, and because Rocchio is playing phenomenal, and Bazana is also playing phenomenal. He's slowly getting better and better as a batter, and he's still making plays in the infield as well. So he's only going to improve on that side of the ball. So overall, like, again, the Guardians are in a really good spot. Like, they could really make a splash and go get either a bigger / better outfielding hitter, or see if you can get a guy that can kind of take that sort of next spot where, like, Hoskins has been, where he hasn't really been outstanding. He's had moments, and even Manzo has struggled a little bit early on, but started to finally get it back.
Yeah.
And Crystal Water has been able to bat around like 250. I think for the year, you might need a little bit more with him towards the end of this year. Like he really need to get back to that power hitting. So the Guardians, again, they have plenty of opportunity to make that happen. And it's just up to the front office to really make that decision and really be good with leaving some guys out. Like, otherwise, you're just going to sit in AAA and AA, and they're not going to go anywhere because your team isn't in a position to bring those guys up positionally, or you say, you know what, we might as well just offload Quan because Quan is starting to fizz out. He has not played well this year. Like let's be real about that.
Yeah.
Quan has not played well. There's a reason he's batting like sixth, seventh, eighth. Like he's around that area because he's not batting as well. And then you have guys like Martinez who have been hitting better, hitting more home runs, being more productive. You have CDL, you have, Schneeman, who's, I would say right now, our best center fielder. So it's like, where do you fit Quan at? And meanwhile, you have guys in AAA who can easily come up and do the same thing that Quan's doing. And yet Quan wants all of this money. He's really hurting himself here by not playing well. So that could also be another opportunity as well. Or shoot, you might want to move on from one of these guys in either the starting lineup or in the bullpen in order to increase your chances to get better guys to then replace them. So it is going to suck for some guys, but the Guardians are in a position to kind of not win now, but compete. And they have been over the last 2 years. And this is that time where you just wonder if they're ready to make that jump or if they're still a little scared to get away from the prospects. And that's been the conversation that we've had since I can remember about this team. It's a good problem to have, but again, you can't be hoarding guys and letting them kind of rot in AAA when you can let them go do other stuff and go get positional needs that you need right this minute in order to help you continue your advancement in the division and, of course, in the AL, because you want to be in the playoffs and you want to actually make a deep run. We're tired of getting to the divisional round and only getting there. It's an opportunity of what you have. The Guardians need to do that at all costs.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you because there's moments, like you said, where this team can't really hoard guys in AAA right now. And I'm just looking at some of these stats. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gabby Arias is batting 1,000 OPS in AAA. But the thing is, you're not going to replace him with Bazana because Bazana's up for Rookie of the Year now.
Yeah.
And you're not going to take him away from that. And you're not going to take away Rocchio, who's been the better batter and mostly better fielder. So unless you convert Gabby Arias into center field, I don't see a place for him on the roster. And plus, too, when he does come up, he struggles.
Yeah.
So then you have Cooper Ingle, who's catching, but he's behind two of the best catchers in the MLB right now, and Patrick Bailey and Austin Hedges. Patrick Bailey being rated the best defensive catcher in all of baseball.
Yeah.
So I do apologize, but you're not gonna get called up in that scenario. And then again, you have guys like Ralphie Velasquez who's crushing it in AAA, but he's a first baseman. And Rhys Hoskins and Manzardo have been playing very well as of late. Yeah. I mean, they've both been getting a lot of hits. They've both been making. I mean, I know Manzardo is I think he's like on a 4 or 5 game hit streak right now. So he's been hitting the ball very well. He's finally getting back into form. And then Rhys Hoskins, I know he's been a little underrated this year, but he's still at like a 750 OPS, 740 OPS. So he's still the one thing that I like about Rhys Hoskins is he does what Quan and Jose and some of these other guys do very well. He walks a ton.
Yep.
He walks a ton. And when he doesn't, he's getting doubles. He's getting singles. He's hitting the ball well. But I tell you what, that man's always on base and you love seeing it. So unless you can convert Velasquez into an outfielder, he's going to get stuck in AAA.
Yeah.
Bo can stay where he's at. I don't care if he's batting 800 OPS. He can stay where he's at.
Yeah.
The one I do want to see called up, this is probably your Quan replacement, that Khalil Watson kid, because he is mashing in AAA. I mean, he's at almost a 900 OPS. He walks a lot too. He hits the ball very well, and he's fast too. So if you can get him up here, you have a very good outfield. But again, unless you make a deal where you could get someone even better who's a veteran who could help you in the long term or who could help you this year. But there's so many guys in AAA who are just, ready to go.
Yep.
I mean, Angel Ganao is a good infielder as well. Petey Halpin went back down and he's been hitting the ball still well in AAA.
Yep.
So there's opportunities, but I think the massive problem is there's nowhere for some of these guys to go.
Yep.
Because
there's no need for them, because everybody else is they're kind of stuck where they're at. And like we're not bad off right now in the lineup.
I think the one who can move is Steven Kwan.
Yeah.
And
that's the one that makes sense to me.
Yeah, because you're not, like you said, you're not going to move Schneemann, you're not going to move Martinez. I mean, hell, even David Fry, when he does make an appearance, David Fry's been batting very well. So you're not going to get rid of a guy who can hit lefties extremely well and just hit the ball in general. I mean, he's batting like a 790 OPS. So there's guys, it's hard to say like, hey, I'm going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because they're doing so well. So some of the bench guys are doing very well. The starters, again, outside of Kwan, are doing extremely well. It's one of those things where you might have to dump Kwan and maybe a couple prospects and get a big center fielder to really shake this lineup up, one that can hit and also defend too. Yeah. But and then again, get a middle reliever. This team is rocking. Like, you can go out there and get another Andrew Miller type reliever, and then get a guy who could come in like an Edwin Encarnacion type hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this team is gonna rake, dude, when it comes to midsummer and October baseball. So the Guardians have the means to do it. It's just, are they going to do it? And a lot of people in the media are saying that there's a high potential, and there's been talks within the front office that they feel this team is like 2016 all over again, and they might go for it, and they might make those moves and go for it. And it's like, good. Maybe they recognize that this team is super talented and they should go for it.
Yeah.
And now's the chance, because Jose said in an interview, I think with Dre Knott the other day, that winning a ring with Cleveland is not only his ultimate goal, but what it would do for the team and the entirety of the league.
Yeah.
So, and then you'd build a statue next to LeBron in Cleveland. in between both stadiums, you'd have a LeBron statue and a Jose statue.
Exactly.
But Jose, I mean, if you can give Jose some help, and that's the reason why he stayed, is if you can give him what you promised him. You said you promised him you give him help. He signed that extension in the offseason for 7 more years. If you can get him that help, you could win a couple rings. You might have a chance to win a ring or two. Yeah. So go out there, get that reliever, get that big bat in the outfield. Hey, this team has unlimited opportunities. And who knows, maybe we'll get a starter in the offseason to start next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, you have several guys that you could move off of. Like, I'm currently looking at the roster, at the current state of the the roster. I mean, besides Kwan, other guys that really are like having a tough time being able to play consistently is guys like David Fry. Like, he's kind of playing everywhere, and it's like, he's batting like 240, I think, right now. Like, he's actually doing pretty good. He's top 3 in OPS. So when he does play, he's well. So it's like, okay, do you try to find a way to play him more and move on from somebody else in that regard, or do you move on from him and use him as like a nice package to be included in to getting a better guy? It's like you have options. Like the Guardians have options, and it means maybe cutting off a finger in order to get the entire arm. So I know that's kind of a weird analogy, but like again, the Guardians have a chance to do this, and
Yeah.
they need to take it super seriously because this is actually a chance for them to also make a run at this, not only in the division but also just in the AL in general. Like the AL is not quite as
No.
competitive as it has been over the last few
You
years.
you have the third or fourth. You have the third most wins in the American League right now, behind
Yeah.
Tampa Bay and New York.
And
The
you're
third most wins.
37 and 33. Like that's your current
Yeah.
record right now. And we're getting ready to play the Tigers who are 29 and 40.
Yeah.
So it's like, the teams that are usually good are playing like crap this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of teams are beatable. And it's kind of the same way that you kind of felt about the Cavs when it came to this year, where you're like, man, there's a bunch of teams out with a bunch of injuries. Boston isn't going to be the same. Obviously, they were pretty good until the playoffs came. But, Indiana's going to be good again next year because they're going to have everybody back.
Yeah.
And it's like they had a chance to make a run and they failed. Now the Guardians have a chance to make a run. Let's see how far that they can go because their expectation is not quite as high as I think the Cavs were put or where people wanted the Cavs to be,
Mm-hmm.
just due to the way that their roster is built and so on. So again, the Guardians have a chance to really, really, really make a run. And every year we are talking about them in the AL Central at the very least of being at the top or winning it because they always end up winning it somehow. So they have a chance to get at least out of the divisional round and then move on and continue doing similarly to what they did. I think that was in 2024 when we lost to the Yankees, where they just overblew us because they had everybody. I mean, they had literally everybody. They had a three-headed monster batting, and they just had like every good player that you could possibly have until they played the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers just mutilated them. So I guess we lost, so that way we could see the Yankees get spared in the World Series so badly. But yeah, they have a chance for this. So I hope that the front office takes this a little more seriously this year and like actually says, okay, like there's some expectation now. This is Vogt's third year now as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Give him some more help. Give him more opportunity to actually see if he can really coach because he makes some questionable choices. He makes a lot of questionable substitutions in pinch hitting moments where it's like it doesn't really make sense for that guy to pinch hit for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's done that several times, and you wonder how much leeway he's going to be given. But as long as this team stays young, he's always going to have an excuse. So I guess we just have to see what they value more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Guardians are in a little bit of slump. I don't think it's the biggest deal. It's going to happen.
No.
Like again, like we're not. I mean, we're still about a month-ish away from the All-Star break because it's typically in July. So I mean, even then, that's when I'll start to really pay attention and really like see where this team is and then where they can go from there because that's where the good teams start to make their runs is after the break because they get that chance to have some time off and then come back refreshed and say, okay, like we have a chance to really push it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And, it's like what you saw last year with Guardians. They came back 15 games down in the, the division to win it. They don't need to do that, but can they still overcome all of the things that they're doing, overcome the youth? It really helped the guys, the young guys, play as well as they continue to have been. This team's sitting pretty, and they have a lot of options. So don't
Mm-hmm.
be afraid to make some noise because this is around the time to do it. It's not like we're gonna have Jose forever.
Nope.
He like at some point he's gonna end up being the next Miles Garrett, where he is ultimately traded away or signed somewhere because he's finally just like, oh man, like I just want to win and I can't win here. Give the guy a chance to win. Give the guy a chance for having a team that's actually going to compete.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they make some moves. I mean, I know we're still a pretty good ways away from the deadline, so we have time. But you just really hope that things start to ramp up over the course of the next month or so, where you can get a better idea of where this team is and what they still need in order to make that real push.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like it's just all of this is based on the front office at this point.
Mhm.
And if they make the move and they go for it, then hey, I applaud them for going for it. But again, it's if it's the right moves being made. If you get that outfielder who can hit and a good reliever, hey, I'm game. I'm down with it. Let's do this. Let's rock until October. So
Yeah.
it's up to the front office. It's up to the Dolans to make things right. And if not, well, we got another. I think David Blister takes over next winter in 2027 in December. So hey, at least he'll probably do something. And hey, Travis Kelce just bought a piece of the Guardians too. Bought a big chunk of the Guardians actually. So
Yeah.
that Taylor Swift money comes in handy. So
Right. It definitely does when you're able to inherit it for sure.
yeah. So maybe with the Guardians we'll use some of that money and go out and get Shohei Ohtani and a couple other guys.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, that's about all that I got for Guardians talk
Me too.
wise. I guess we can get a little bit into the Browns since they are going through camps right now. Seems like we got to hear from Watson. That was the big thing this week that we've seen so far. But both quarterbacks are actually, legitimately competing for the starting job, and they still haven't named one yet. And I'm just curious, like, where do you see this going? Because we've been kind of preparing ourselves mentally for Watson, but it actually sounds like Shadur has a legit shot to win this. Like, I don't think they're just going to hand this to Watson.
No, and I said this on the other show I'm a part of. And I'm probably gonna say it again tonight on that same show, that I don't care I don't care if this is the NFL or not. Once you get past a certain age, you need to play the best players available.
Yeah.
And the best players no matter what. So when it comes to Watson versus Shador, if Shador is the better quarterback all camp long and in preseason, you start him. I
Yep.
don't care how much you're paying Deshaun Watson. I could give zero crap about how much you're giving him. It's all about starting the best player possible. So if Shador is the best quarterback in the room, then you start him. Because for me, what I want to see is I want to see Shador start the whole season. Because I want to know whether or not if we have a quarterback or not. And if we don't, then we know we need to go out to the draft and get a quarterback. But if Shador shows you he's got a good ceiling and he can win you football games, then you can say, hey, we could build around this.
Yeah.
And we could keep a guy like this. We could build around this. But if not, then you say, all right, all three quarterbacks we have are terrible. And we're going to start all over again in the quarterback room and we're going to go out and draft a guy.
Yeah.
Whether that be Arch Manning, Dante Moore, whoever it is, you go out and you get a quarterback in the next draft. But you start the best of it. You start the best person possible.
Yeah.
I don't care what Andrew Berry says. I don't care what the Haslam's have to say. I don't care what JW says. I'm sure some of those guys would be like, well, we're paying Watson 230, so we don't have to give him a chance. He has had multiple chances.
You think
you don't need to give him another chance. He's had too many already. He's shown you and he has failed you. And guess what? Here's the reason why I respect guys like Zach Jackson or Jason Lloyd. They're going to tell you how it is.
Yep. Always.
These guys are not afraid to tell you how it is. They've said every time you see a Watson pass on Twitter and it's like, oh man, he fit it through two defenders. He's looking really good. Always the next pass is an interception to triple coverage.
Yeah.
So, or it's a really horrible throw. So they said, don't read into what you see on Twitter from people like Mary Kay, who say Watson looks really good in camp. Or, the QB tracker that ESPN Cleveland does.
Oh God, I
Hate
hate
that.
that.
It doesn't. It's not an accurate representation of who's doing well.
No, it's
Um,
just seeing who's getting the reps.
yeah, it's just seeing who's getting the reps. So it doesn't show you anything. But at the end of the day, if Shador is making the better decisions and the better passes, that's the guy you rock with the season. I don't care about the 230 million guaranteed. He's had his chances. He's had 4 years. He's had opportunities. You don't have to worry about it. This is the last of his contract. He's going to get cut in the end of the year anyways. And
Mhm.
I know Todd Monken is a guy who's not going to take any crap from JW, from the Haslams, from Barry. He's going to say, look, this is my team. You brought me here to coach. I'm not going to bend over like Stefanski did. Stefanski was happy to be like, yes, master, I will start Deshaun Watson for you. That's not Todd Monken.
Yeah.
Todd Monken will tell you straight up, Shador's better. I'm starting him. I could give two shits about Deshaun Watson. Like, I'm starting the better quarterback. And if Shador is that, then he is that, and I am starting him. I don't care about the money that you're paying this guy. I don't care about anything else. I need to know if I have a quarterback or not. And if I don't, I know I need to draft one. And if I do, I know I can get pieces around him. So if it's Shador, start Shador. If it's Deshaun, then start Deshaun.
Yeah.
But don't sit there and feel pressured to start Deshaun because the front office is pressuring you to do so, or because they're paying him 230 million and you feel sorry for him and you feel like he should give another chance. Nope. If I'm looking, I'm like, he's at his opportunities. I'm not going to cater to him. He's a grown man. He's a professional athlete. This isn't 10-year-old kids anymore where
No.
everyone has to play and everyone gets to play and everyone's all happy and you get orange slices in the juice box after the game. This isn't that anymore.
Oh.
This is the NFL. This is the roughest league. And these are the professional leagues are the biggest leagues in the world where you don't cater to anybody. It's a business at the end of the day. And the best business decision is to go with who's better. So Deshaun, if he wants his orange slices and juice box, he can go somewhere else for that. He's not getting that here anymore.
No, but you know what? I was very intrigued by some of the things that he said in his press conference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give him this. It was the first time it actually felt a little more genuine and a little more like he kind of sounded like he was calm, like
Mm-hmm.
calmer, I guess. Like anytime you ever heard from him, he was always kind
Antsy.
of stuttering a little bit, a little antsy. So I don't know if it was like more of the Kevin Stefanski part of this or what. I don't know, but he made a point, and he actually made it interesting. But was that he was not healthy since the Tennessee game in 2023, meaning he was playing so hurt for so long, and Kevin Stefanski continued to let this guy, with the amount of money that they were paying him, do that. Wonder where we heard that one from. Same result with Baker. Kevin Stefanski, I swear, if Todd Monken can find anything like good out or get anything good out of Watson, it's going to be an incredible indictment against Stefanski. Now, am I saying that's going to happen? No. Honestly, I think Watson's toast. Like I don't see his arm being any better than it has been. I really think that shoulder injury he had a few years ago really toasted him out. And you're certainly not going to see him be as explosive as he was. He may have a little bit of a like you haven't really seen Delpit really have those issues, and he tore his Achilles his rookie year. Like he
Yep.
didn't even have a rookie year actually. So it is possible to come back from. You've seen guys continue to come back from the injury, but it is a longer process, and there is a reason why he sat out for the entire year last year. But again, if Monken can somehow get even 70% of what Watson was in Houston, that is a freaking win. Even if you do win 5-6 games, you're still doing something. Now, do you learn much from that? No. And that's why everybody would rather see Shadur, because I would rather win 4 games with Shadur than win 6 or 7 with Watson. And I know that sounds crazy to some people who probably just want to win, and I don't blame you. Like I want to win too, but I don't think you learn much from that, and I don't think you get much value out of that, because I think we're all kind of in the same boat where we're saying this team's probably going to draft a quarterback next year.
Mhm.
And this year, they're going to try to figure out if that really is the case or not. And the only way you're going to find that out is if Shadur makes a huge leap and a big impact. And he's made some really good throws in camp. He's also had some bad throws, and he's probably still going to. But I don't think like Deshaun hasn't looked that great. He's looked okay, and like he had a better day today. I thought, and I guess even Gabriel had a pretty good day today, but he hasn't really been in the conversation too. And that's the
No.
funnier part is it's like, what are you gonna do with him? Because now he's wearing the 6 jersey instead of 8 because Jared Verse took 8, and it's funny, but the defense looks good, and both guys are kind of sort of having to make plays. And I'll tell you what, dude, if there's one guy on this team, like newer, that I am excited to watch is Denzel Boston. Every single day I see
Mhm.
him getting a moss or him getting just a really good catch.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, like this guy kind of looks like Mike Evans, doesn't he? Like it's kind of crazy to say, but that's my personal comp with him. Now I'm not saying he's going to have the career that Mike Evans has, because let's face it, Mike Evans is a future Hall of Famer right now, and he's still playing in the NFL. That dude is going to go down as one of the most consistent and best receivers ever. But Bob Austin, athletically and size wise, he's Mike Evans,
Yep.
and the Browns have missed that. They thought they had that in Tillman, and Tillman just doesn't catch the ball like Denzel does. Boston actually catches stuff. Anytime he gets anything thrown to him, he catches it like he's supposed to. And even KC has looked pretty good. He's had a few drops, but he's had them while he's like double coverage or still in traffic. So it's like it's a harder catch, but he's also made some harder catches. So you're seeing the young guys continue to shine and continue to play better and better and better. And that's all you can ask for, man. Like with
Mhm.
a young team like this, that's all you can ask for is the guys that you're bringing in are starting to make their stamp. They're really starting to make their difference. Browns team is trying to figure out who out of the young guys are going to stick and who of them are going to be the next guys out, to replace the new guys that will come in 2027 and beyond. But you really don't learn anything from Watson. And I think that's the biggest thing that we can say about the QB competition. I still think he probably starts the first few games, especially with the O line kind of getting, its legs under them. You're trying to really sort out how you're going to do this. And it may benefit him to kind of let Deshaun be the crash test dummy for the first 4 or 5 games to kind of see, hey, where's this thing going? But you don't have a difficult schedule. You have the easiest schedule in the NFL. So it's not
Yep.
like you're playing immense competition unless certain teams just come out of the gate and start off red hot. Like, Carolina could start off really hot and come into that game 3, which is the game I'm going to.
Mhm.
That's, going to be a tough one. Tampa Bay is going to be tough. But, like, other than that, like, there's very winnable games on this schedule. So Browns can make some noise, and if they don't, then it's not like they expected to make any noise. That's the beauty about where we're at right now is after you trade Myles Garrett, expectations have already been low. Now they're really, really low. Like now there's nothing. There's no pressure. So Munkin can just go in and coach and really make his impact felt. And if the guys like him and they respond positively to him, then you're already on the up and you're already at least going in the right direction. that's where this Browns team is right now. And I know it sucks for fans to kind of admit that, but we're here and there's nothing that we as fans can do about it. The only thing that we can do is just not go to games.
Yeah.
It's fine. If you don't want to go to a game, don't go to a game. I haven't been to a game in a few years now. I'm going this year because A, I want to go to one before my wedding, and B, I want to take my girl on one. So I'm going on a little double date with, my buddy. And it's like, it's just fun. We're not going to be these super hardcore fans anymore. We're just going to have fun and try to enjoy ourselves. And if they win, hey, that's even cooler. That's even cooler. But
Mhm.
I went to games when they were going 0-16
So
and
was I.
15. My first game I ever saw was, I believe that was the Monday night game where the Ravens blocked the field goal kick for a touchdown. And the whole place just erupted. That was my first game that I ever went to, was that game. So that just shows you like the tone that was set from there, because then it was I think we went to like a Jacksonville game, which I think was that year that we lost every game, where we were in the game and then we just got blown out in the fourth quarter, I think. And then finally, we have something going for us. And I go to the Jets game, the Thursday night Jets game, Baker's first game. It was incredible. And after that, I was addicted. I was so addicted. I was like, man, what's it like to win games? And then I went to another game where we played the Bengals. That was the Hugh Jackson get back game, where we just blew them out at home. Like we blew the socks off, off them. And I was like, okay, this is what it feels like. And it was a lot of fun. So you never know what you're going to get at a Browns game unless you go. And it's better to go earlier in the season than going later, because by the time you go later, it's like November. It's cold. They probably won 4 games max. And you're like, oh, we're here. Let's drink so we stay warm. Like, that's about all you're really there for, is to stay warm. So, yeah, man, there's no expectation. So there's no real reason to get really mad, unless the Browns do that thing where they kind of stay in games every single game and they compete and then just lose at the end. That's when things will get upsetting. That's when I'll get pissed, because I'm like, okay, you're telling me you're going to keep my focus for 40 of I should say 48 of the 60 minutes that you guys are going to play, and then you're gonna piss me off in the fourth quarter and throw like two picks in the span of 6 minutes. That's what I don't want. That's what I don't want. If you're gonna lose, just lose. And if you're gonna lose, at least lose with honor. Don't lose by 40 against the Ravens, but also don't be winning the game going into the fourth quarter and then lose by 2 touchdowns. Don't do that either. If you're gonna lose by 10, but you were down the whole game, but you fought, but you lost. That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I want is just, this team has, like you said earlier, it has an easy schedule. So there should be games where you can go in there confident, being like, we're going to win. And I know I'm going to go to a couple games this year, and I'm hoping, I think me and my brother are going to go to an away game because his buddy works for the Jags, and I think we might be going to the Jags game.
Nice.
So, but I'm going to go to a couple games, and all I just want to see is competent football. I don't want to see Kevin Stefanski football anymore, where the offensive line gets 15 false starts in a row. Everything just looks a mess. I'd rather see a competent football team who knows what they're doing, limits the penalties, and just plays half decent football. Like, I'm not expecting to be spectacular. I'm just expecting to improve.
Yeah.
So we had 4 wins last year?
I think we had 5 or 6, actually.
I think we had 5, 4 or 5. Yeah. Okay. Say we had 5 wins. This year, if we get 6 wins, hey, that's improvement. It's 1 win improvement. I'm not looking to be like, okay, well, I'm looking to go 10-6 or 10-7 or 11-6. I'm not looking to fucking basically compete for the division. I'm just asking for 6 or 7 wins, improve. Give me that improvement. Show me that you're doing things the right way. I'm not asking for too much.
No,
Just show me.
because we still want a high draft pick anyway.
Yeah, we still want a high draft pick, and I think when it came to that Miles Garrett trade, I think people don't realize like getting first rounders from LA is not going to be good
No, that's
because they're
no.
going to be bottom picks in the first round.
If you're going to
So
use it to either trade up or trade back from
yeah,
there, like
I
that's what's going to
I
happen.
I would rather just you know I would rather just take Jared Verse at that point. But
Yeah.
in a sense, I just want this team to show improvement. I want to see what this new coaching staff can do because I'm glad we dumped the entire staff and said let's revamp this. Um, I just all I care about is improvement and to watch a team that just can play football. And if we lose, it's not because of something stupid like we were used to every season for the last few years was, oh, we lost because we decided to be a bunch of idiots.
Right.
And also, before I finish, I don't know if you saw a comment on one of our last TikToks, but I mentioned the Browns have a good roster. And this guy commented like, "What's so good about the roster?" And I was like, a top 3 defense, and all positions are good except for basically QB, wide receiver, and offensive
Yeah.
line.
Right. And both they improved on either two of the three. So
yeah, and that's what I said is like, and we improved on 2 of the 3. And the guy's like, "Well, I still think the roster is dog water." It's like, and then you don't know football, and then that's okay. Like
you didn't watch them because you didn't see Carson Schwarzenegger have a freaking damn near MVP like season.
Yeah.
You didn't see Alex Wright take that next step, that next leap.
And Mike Hall Jr. might take that next step and leap too.
And look, Graham should still be really, really good. I believe you still have Collins as well. Like you have good people, and you drafted very, very well. So I don't understand what these guys mean when they're like, oh yeah, this team's dog water. It's like, yeah, they're young and a little unproven, but they're not. You can't say they're dog water because you haven't really gotten to see them yet.
Yeah,
that's my take.
I feel it. Yeah, I feel you.
I just can't stand people that have just the dumbest opinions. Like, it's fine if you have an opinion, and it's fine if you want to talk some smack or whatever. That's fine. I don't mind a little bit of bantering, but there's some people that are just being full on dicks. And I literally think one of the videos that we did, I was like, yeah, be a dick. That's that's gonna get you somewhere for sure.
Well, what I find funny too is when I talk to people about the Browns and they're like I mentioned the Browns have a good roster and they're like, oh no, they don't, and they say, and I was like, okay, give me the reason why. Well, because it's the Browns.
Right.
Well, that's not an argument. Saying was the Browns. That okay, give me the reasoning. If you can't give me a reasoning, your only reasoning is the Browns, then I know the conversation is not going to go anywhere, and I can tell you're not intelligent. And that's about 90% of the media that we see every day.
Yeah.
When it comes to ESPN and all that, they're like, oh, well, the Browns aren't good because they're the Browns. Okay, in what context? Well, they're just the Browns. Okay, well, then you shouldn't be on TV. Yeah. And then they tell me why. Well, I don't think you're good. You shouldn't be on TV. You see how dumb that sounds?
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny to argue with these people because they are idiots. And
well, the funniest one was, and I'm seeing the comments right now. We had a clip from I think it was either last week's or the week before that. I think it was the week before that, maybe. I don't know. But it was a clip of us talking about, hey, I would give an arm and a leg for Joe Burrow if he ever became available. Just for the conversation, just to BS. Isn't our whole title
just
the whole name? Just BSing? We're just BSing. Okay. Some of these need a click. You make me sick. I'm liking that one. That's funny. Actually,
that's actually kind of funny.
But then user 297-838-255-888997
A bot.
goes, wasted post, sir. No way he would want to play here, or Bengals trade him in division. And I said, the whole point of posting is for conversation. Easiest 1K views will get, sir. Like, but then you get guys like, this one was the kicker. He goes, so the front office and the fans have low IQ. Got it. And I was like, oh, look, a fuck to give. Maybe we'll get one next time. Like, it's just like again, like you're trying to stir stuff. You're trying to anger us.
It's not happening. We're Browns fans. You're not going to anger me.
Bro, that was the easiest 1K views that I could pull out of my butt.
That's what I'm saying. That's the easiest 1K view we could post.
We do it for conversation. We do it for engagement. Isn't that the whole point of this? Isn't that the whole point of this?
To have a conversation.
It's engagement between fans and other people alike that enjoy content or enjoy football, enjoy baseball, whatever it is.
Yep.
We're just talking.
We're not sitting here trying to act like we're the most intelligent people on the planet. We're not. We're just trying to just have a
We've
good
never admitted that.
Yeah. And I've definitely never been the smartest guy in the fucking room. But
nope. Same here.
But it's all about just having a conversation and just engaging in discourse and trying to just, have a talk.
Yeah. Have a little banter, have a little fun. But come on. These are conversations that that you have with your boys in the garage at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the name of the podcast is Just BS, and we're literally just BSing, and that's all we want to do with the people is just BS.
Wasted post, sir.
A wasted comment, sir.
It's like wasted comment, you bot. Good Lord. But yeah, I just thought that was funny, and I hope one of these end up getting clipped at some point because that would hit. Funny. That would hit on TikTok easily, and I hope this part of the clip gets hit too.
Me too.
Gotcha. But yeah, guys, I don't know. That's pretty much gonna do it for me. I don't really have anything else left. It's already been surprised we got an hour in this because getting into this episode, I was like, we'll be around like 30, 45 minutes. Like, get off real quick. And then what do? We yap. We yap like always. We yap.
Yep. We BS.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I don't know if you see my little Jesus here. He's really
I do see the little Jesus. I almost commented on the little Jesus.
I know. But, so Lexi has she bought a crap ton of them because she likes to just give them out at her work and stuff. And so I have 2 or 3. So I had one here at my desk, and I was like, I'm gonna put him on my little microphone and just see if he'll fit. And he fits literally perfectly. So I'm like, bet. But twice now he's fallen, and then I'll put him back on, and then I'll turn off my microphone. I'm like, crap.
Because you have the touch mic. Yeah.
Yes.
It was funny because when I went to the Ravens game last year on the road, some of these Ravens fans were just we were just having banter.
Yeah.
And I said, there's a reason why I stopped believing in Jesus. And the guy goes, why is that? And I was like, because as a kid, I used to go to church and I would pray for the Browns to win every Sunday, and they never would. So I knew Jesus wasn't real. And they got the whole section laughing a little bit. I'm like,
that's not how that works, though.
I know. I was like, so funny. I think I would pray for the Browns to win. It would never happen. So I stopped believing in Jesus.
Meanwhile, he's just up there going, no, I can't even save them. Come on.
Yeah, he's put me in a hard place. Was it the Family Guy episode where God's they got to heaven or something, and they're like, why can't you love Tom Brady or something? It's hilarious. But yeah, that was the joke that's the joke I told. I was like, I kind of stopped believing.
It's a solid joke though. It really is. That's real funny.
Lost my faith real fast.
It's my faith in the Browns and Jesus.
I lost my faith in 2 things. He's the Browns and Jesus.
I promise you, I still believe for anybody that watches.
Oh, I do too.
It's just funny.
I know Jesus was a real person. It's just I was like, God doesn't exist because he couldn't answer my prayers about the Browns.
It's that's just how being a kid is. You just
yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that didn't happen.
I wasn't asking for much.
Funny. Some of this stuff that
all I wanted was Derek Anderson to throw 5 touchdowns a game. That's all I wanted.
Right, exactly. And that's just, that's not happening. But all right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for us. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Please follow and subscribe to the channel if you made it this far. I'm sure about 98% of you did not, which is okay with me. But if you guys did enjoy and want to get more, we're starting to post shorts on on YouTube as well, along with TikTok. So go follow everything. We got everything down in the description. And as always, see you next time.